Right, here we go. My name is Byron Puryear, and I'm a workshop facilitator from the UIC Center for Literacy, Family Support Services Parent Outreach Office. How's everybody doing today? Great. All right. So basically what I want to do is just give a little insight of what we do. We do offer family literacy workshops, financial literacy initiative parent workshops, and parent education employment readiness workshops. So we do have many different curriculums that we provide to our Head Start parents, and they're also free of charge. So be on the lookout for more workshops that you plan to attend in the future. The other services that we do provide, we do have our adult education career transition program, which provides free classes and tutoring to parents interested in continuing their basic education, learning English, or obtaining a high school equivalency in English or Spanish. We do have our social service department that GED students have access to post-secondary help. We do offer services for we do have a resource center for autism and developmental delay center, which is on the south and west side, which provides support for those who care for, teach, and serve children with the autism spectrum disorder and other developmental delays. And finally, we do have our AmeriCorps program, which Mr. Jason Harper is a member of. It's something very insightful if you want to join in. I am an alumni of the program. It's a volunteer program where you receive a biweekly stipend, educational award when you complete 1,700 full service hours. And it is a good program, and I recommend it if you're interested in it, take advantage of it. Next, I want to talk about our basic Zoom features, which we are on the Zoom platform. If everybody knows about it, I just want to give you a little insight of a Zoom meeting and the basic meeting features that we have. If you look at the bottom of your screen, you see a mute button. You can mute and unmute yourself, which I'm going to do right now. You can also unmute yourself. You have to step away or take an important call. We have to have the stop video icon and camera where you can turn your camera on and off. And there's a picture of my lovely face. If you don't have a picture of yourself, your first name, the first letter of your name will pop up. That's how that feature works. We do have our chat box, which you can drop things in the chat, suggestions, comments. You can always drop that in the chat, and I will check that periodically during the workshop. And finally, we do have our reaction button. If you look at the bottom of your screen, you may have 3 dots, or you might have a circle with a smiley face. You can use your reaction icon and give fun little emojis like a virtual thumbs up like I gave you, or a hand clap. And I want to introduce you guys to my support technical person. His name is Jason Harper. He is an AmeriCorps member. Can everybody give him a large welcome, a round of applause?
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. All right, so materials needed for this workshop. Basically, if you have them, or if not, I want you guys to get a pen or a pencil, paper, preferably notebook, blank or construction paper. If you have any scissors or glue sticks, crayons or markers, I'll give you a minute or so just to get that information, get that material that's needed for the workshop. Just a couple fun activities that we can do that is needed for creating the home literacy center kit. I'll give you maybe a minute just to grab those items if you can. If you don't, no worries, don't worry about it. So next, I'm going to go ahead and put up our pre-poll questions. It's a series of 3 questions, true or false, just to gauge what you may or may not know about creating a home literacy center kit. There's no right and wrong answers. They're just asking you what you may or may not know. And at the end of the workshop, I'm going to give you the same questions. And basically, during the course of the workshop, we're going to absorb a lot of information, answer the same questions, get 100, and ask you a few things about how you feel about the workshop at the end. So here are the pre-poll post questions, and here they go. I'm going to launch them. Can you guys see the poll questions? Thumbs up if you can, or just, can everybody see them?
Yep.
All right. And while you're doing the poll questions, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about our point system. The more workshops you attend, the more points you can earn, and the better gift you will receive. We will be distributing our gifts sometime this month. Your site coordinator, we will go ahead and let them know when you guys can pick up your gift or how we're going to distribute them. So I'll distribute them and give them away, but you will receive a gift sometime by the end of December. So that is how our point system works. And during the course of the year, we still will be doing workshops. So it will be other incentives provided for you parents. All right. I believe everybody completed the poll. I'm going to go ahead and end it, and we're going to go ahead and get into the workshop. All right. I got it. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. All right, I got my technical support on deck, and let's get started with the workshop. So the name of the workshop today is Creating a Home Literacy Center. And the objectives we're going to cover today is that you guys will be able to create a home literacy center in your home. You will become aware of how important it is to interact with your child while using the literacy center. And you will engage the children on many ways that you can use the literacy center. So those are the topics we're going to cover today. Next slide, please. And let's go into that transition. So next, what we're going to do is just a brief icebreaker. I want you guys to state your name, and can you tell me one thing that you've done with your child to help them with their reading or their writing? Give me one thing. Give me one or two things that you have done with your child to help them with their reading and their writing.
I can go. I guess I can go first since I'm here. Obi LaFleur. I am. My son is Obi. I'm Obi LaFleur the third. My son is Obi LaFleur the fourth. And a couple things we do to encourage him with his reading and writing is we've read to him basically every night since he was like a couple weeks old, and we still do it currently. And then we go to different books. Are you all right? Sorry, he came in the room and he's coughing. We go to different bookstores and look at different books. And my wife also hosts well, when we were still open, she used to host a story time. So we used to take them to story times all around the city, especially Hyde Park, 53rd Street Books. So we do a lot of that type of stuff. You're on mute, Mr. Byron.
Thank you for telling me that. I can go, and thank you for sharing that information, Mr. Obi. What I have done, again, my name is Byron Perrier, and what I do, some things that I've done with my children when they were smaller, were helping them read, but just reading them books, taking time out just to sound out the letters, make the sounds of the letters, and just take a little, extra time just to break down the words, the letters of the meaning of the letters and the sounds. And also what helped me a lot was Sesame Street. I love that PBS station, WTTW. Love that station, Sesame Street, Big Bird, Elmo. They helped me out with teaching my children, learning their ABCs, numbers, and etc. Ms. Thompson, did you want to go or?
Yeah, I can speak.
Okay.
Well, in the parent room, we always make a lot of different games. So one of the games that we always made was Feed the Dog. And so we would take an actual box and then we would create a dog face, with a tongue, and we would open it up. And so we would take the alphabet cards and print them out, and I would laminate them for the parents. And then we would cut them out. And so they would feed the dog. And so they would have to say the letter in order to feed the dog that actual letter bone. And that's a really key thing.
Nice. I like that activity.
So yeah.
Nice. So thank you for participating. So next, I'm going to ask another question. Can we have that transition, please? What comes to mind when you hear these words, literacy center? Like, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear literacy center? And you can go, Mr. Obi.
A place in your home that your child can be comfortable learning, and they know when they're there that you make it inviting and warm, so they like being there and like learning, versus somewhere where it's almost seems like a punishment, something that's really dry and kind of old school in the school. So yeah, that's what I think of when I think of a literacy center.
Nice. Ms. Thompson, what comes to mind when you hear literacy center? I know you.
Because I'm an educator, when I think of a literacy center, I think of words and reading. Anything that involves reading. So
Okay.
that can be the alphabets, that can be the letter sounds, that can be a book, that can be a pen, piece of paper, writing words, writing letters. So anything that's related to books, stories, that's all literacy. So that can involve just a comprehensive component of just things that you can put inside a literacy center. So anything involving reading, basically.
Nice, nice. I knew you was gonna hit that on the head.
What literacy? Well, it's just reading. So that's all it is. Anything that surrounds or talks about reading.
Most
And
definitely.
parents can make a literacy center, mobile within their homes. So for example, one thing I would tell the parents to always do is that when you're practicing writing names, they can get some laminating paper. They can purchase a laminating machine from Walmart. It costs about $30, but it's a great investment. And the reason why is that if you get a laminating machine and the laminated paper, and you laminate the first and last name, they can use a dry erase marker to kind of practice again and again and again. So that's something we always did in the parent room, was get that first and last name printed out and then put it on laminating sheets. Mr. LaFleur, I don't know if it's what grade your child is in, if it's a pre-K 3 or pre-K 4. Mr. LaFleur?
He's pre-K 3.
Okay, so he's learning to write his name. So at that level, before you start writing the child's name, you can use sticks and circles. And they have websites and apps out there. So if you need one, I can shoot you an email and give you a sample of that. And so you will go in, it's a website out there. And so you just put the slashes in, and you put the O's in, print it out, and then have them practice slashes and circles. And then from there, you can start writing his name and printing his name out, just so he can get familiar with kind of building up his fine motor skills.
You know, he's been working on a lot of that stuff already. My wife is definitely on top of that, and he's an older pre-K 3. He's already 4. He turned 4 on September 27th. So
he can write his first and last name.
He can write his first name. We're working on the last name right now.
And that can take some time, but the fact that he's 3 and he can write his first name, which is awesome, because a lot of times we have pre-K 4 students who go into the pre-K 4 program and still can't write their first name. So you're already ahead of the game. And so that's
all right. So I appreciate that, Ms. Thompson. And
I'm sorry.
No problem. So I just want to ask Mr. LaFleur, who would be the child's first and most important teacher? Who do we think that is?
The parents.
Got it. Children are most successful in school. The children that are most successful in school are the ones who have parents or caregivers who value learning and enjoy reading and writing with their children. And basically what a literacy center is, it is a station designed for learning purposes. It is also designed to provide materials to help children learn independently or with partners. We can go into that next slide, please. All right, what are some things that you think should be inside a literacy center kit? What things that you think should go inside a literacy center kit?
Crayons, paper, markers, anything to write with.
Got it. Now I have a makeshift home literacy center kit, and this is what mine looks like. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is show you the transition of what things and everything that you said could be included inside a literacy center kit. And if you want to add a few additional things, it's always a huge help to do that. And I also just want to inform you that these workshops will assist you in providing the most effective way to support your children's learning in school, and especially with subjects like reading and writing. That's very important with literacy. And we can go into those transitions. We got letters that can go inside a literacy center kit, glue sticks, puzzles, books, numbers, and pictures. And a good key thing that Ms. Thompson said about a laminating center, we also have that in our office. I mean, once you laminate things, you can use them over and over. So, once your child colors on them, you can always erase them. And this is my makeshift home literacy center kit. And we were doing workshops in person. you guys, will all the parents and participants will get a home literacy center kit to take home with them. But this is my makeshift one that we got. I got glue sticks, I got markers, I got a little tape, and also I have scissors. Also, when you're using scissors with your children, make sure you monitor them. I have a book, what that says, literacy. And I also have a little paper. So those are some things that can go inside your literacy center kit. And if you have feathers, markers, books, any type of thing that you can add, feel free to add. Where are some of the things that you think that we can find in our literacy center kit? Do we have to go to the store to get some of these things, or are there some things at home that we can put inside them?
Combination of both. You probably have some stuff you can find right at home and some stuff you would probably need to go to the store for. Or I guess you don't have to go to the store anymore. You can just go on Amazon and it'll be delivered to your door. My wife knows a lot about that, multiple times a day.
Most definitely, I can agree. I just want to give a few key things. Research clearly showed that children do best when they have a supportive home environment that values education. And what literacy center kids promotes, I'm going to give you some fun key tidbits. They improve motor skills. They help you spend quality time with your children. They help them prepare for school. It helps them follow instructions. It also helps them build self-confidence, promotes cleaning up after themselves once they put all the items back inside the literacy center kit. It also promotes bonding. And literacy center kits are also mobile, such as Ms. Thompson also stated. So you can also take these kits anywhere when you're going, if you're doing road trips or just running errands around. You can also put the literacy center kit anywhere you can go, and you can use it in endless ways. Next slide, please. Now let's discuss how we can use our center of materials for reading and writing at home. So next slide, please. What are some places that you possibly can place your literacy center kit at home? Like, where do you think you can put them
at? In the child's room, in the living room, wherever they may do work. It's a kit, so it's portable, so you can put it wherever you feel most comfortable, wherever they can get access to it.
Exactly. Again, like you stated, it could be in her room. And it could also be a shelf in the living room or a small table and chair in the corner. It can be just about anywhere. And literacy center kits can be organized and managed again in possible ways. How do you think that you can manage your literacy center kit? Like, how would you manage it?
How would I manage it in terms of what? I would just make sure that it's always stocked and supplied with the stuff that's needed. There's no sense in having a literacy kit if you don't have any paper or stuff like that in there. So just making sure you keep it nice and neat, and making sure it's stocked with supplies.
Nice. Now, how often do you think that the children should be allowed to use the literacy center?
Whenever they get the urge, or whenever they feel like it. They should, you want to encourage it and not discourage it. Like, no, you should put that literacy stuff down and go watch TV. That's not what we're encouraging over here.
Exactly. And what type of distractions do you think that we should avoid when they got those kids out?
TV on, electronics, even distractions from you. You should give them the attention while they're working in that literacy center.
Okay. All right, next question. Is it important to allow an older child to work with a younger child while using these kits?
Definitely, because a lot of times our kids learn from older kids. So if they see their older brother or sister doing something, they'll more than likely take a bigger interest in it. So.
Nice. Now, what type of benefits would it be for letting older children work with younger children? Like, what type of benefits would the younger child get?
Well, a lot of times kids look up to their older siblings, and if they see it's important to the older sibling, they're definitely going to want to try and be like that and emulate them. And it probably also helps out the older child to give them confidence and showing their younger sibling how to read or write or do any of those different things. So it's a kind of win-win situation, and then it also gives you some time to do something else and let the kids play with each other.
Most definitely. And I have a fun example that you can do with your child. Like, a young child could dictate a letter to either you, yourself, grandma, or titi, or auntie, and the parent could dictate and write down for the child. And that's a term called dictation. And that's another term that we use in another one of our workshops that we cover called teaching the ABCs. The child could draw a picture for yourself or grandma to go with the letter, and then you guys could put the letter and picture in the envelope, address it to grandma or whoever that the letter is going to, and drop the letter off in the mailbox together. And I know the way things are going, you may not be moving around as much, but that could be a fun activity that you can do together. Next slide, please. Now, why is it important for parents or caregivers to take some time out of their busy day to interact with the child while using the Literacy Center kit? Why do we think that's important?
I think it's important because you want to make sure that they're engaged. And I mean, if you're too busy you're the one that, like you said earlier, you're their first teacher. And if you don't have time to do that, you can't just rely on their teachers at school to do it. Everything that they do at school needs to be reinforced at home. Mm-hmm. And that's the only way that they'll kind of learn this stuff, because they only have so much time, especially now in the virtual world where we're only on the, online for, 2 hours. There definitely needs to be supplemental things that go on around the house.
Nice. Now, I also just want to remind you that a Literacy Center kit allows the children to be themselves. They become more open and engaged and more comfortable with their surroundings and more natural. So basically, it's like a place where it's like a judgment-free zone. So whatever pictures or activity that they make, they're free of judgment. So they don't have to worry about, anybody judging them about what they've done. Also, with some of the activities, some of the things that they use with the Literacy Center kit, such as drawing pictures or making, cool things with some of the items that come inside. You can also encourage them to display their work at home, just like, putting things on the refrigerator like we used to do when we were growing up. What's some type of ways that you can use your Literacy Center kit? Like, what type of activities would you present to your child, or what you do with your child with the Literacy Center kit at home?
Well, sometimes with the stuff we do, we'll have him, we'll help him trace letters, mm-hmm. or we'll help him. We've got a lot of things in the kind of his literacy station. So we'll have him trace letters. We'll have him, say the names of animals that are associated with those different letters. We'll work on different sight words and other things. So we're doing a lot of different things to try to supplement what he gets at school.
Okay, nice. And these are some key things. A literacy center allows children to use up a lot of excess energy. So, we'll check with with our kids being at home more and not being able to venture out outdoors. That literacy center kit can allow them to use up some energy. It also allows them to relax. Playing reduces tension. It also allows children to take risks without fear of failure. They become more open and engaged, and allowing them to be more expressive. Can we have that next transition? Okay, next I want to show you a little video about some type of activity that you can do at home with some of the materials inside of your Literacy Center kit. It's like a 2 to 3 minute video. I'm going to go ahead and show that to you, and then I got something that you can do as well with some of the items that you may have at home. And there you have it, a small decoration that you can do with your child with some of the materials inside of a literacy center kit. I want to show you an activity that we can do that you can also do with your child. It's not as extravagant as that snowflake that we just seen, but you can just use a regular sheet of paper. What you would do is fold it like this. What you would do, you could fold it again, like that. Fold it again, like that. So you have this, and then you have a little extra paper that's right there. You just snip that off. You have a triangle. And what you can do.
Is that the one where you kick the football?
No, it's something like the football, but
No,
what
I'm
I'm gonna do is make a snowflake.
Okay, I'm just playing.
I mean, we used to do that all the time in school. And this is just a simple snowflake that you can do with your child. Just going in and out, making little curves with it. That's how it looks. And we open it up, and we have a snowflake. So that's just a fun activity that you can do with some of the stuff that you have inside of your literacy center kit. I just want to ask a question before we go ahead and wrap it up, and you do our post poll questions. You can go to the next slide for me, Jason. What is the biggest thing that we learn from our children? What is the number one thing that we learn from our children? The biggest thing that we learn?
What do you want me to put? Kids are resilient.
Resilient, that's
Yes.
one of them.
They don't have an issue with making mistakes. You know, they'll fall down and they'll get back up and try again.
Exactly,
That's
that's
what I love about children.
That's a major thing that we can do. That's one thing. Do you have anything that was one of the biggest thing that we learned from our children, Mr. LaFleur?
Well, we learned, I learned the value of putting in work for something. To see my son put in, work and put in the work, and and then get excited when he sees results. That shows me that it just kind of reinforces to me that anything worth doing is worth putting in work for. So it could just simple reminders.
Most definitely. And I have one to add on. One is the biggest thing that we learn from our children is patience. So, dealing with, with our children, we will have to execute that patient word a lot. So patience. Ms. Thompson said resilience. And Mr. LaFleur said, putting in work, put in any type of work, you're not going to get a good result out of the thing that you do. So with that being said, this concludes our workshop. Jason, if you can make me the host again so I can put our post-poll survey questions. It's just 5 questions, 3 of the same ones that you had, true or false, and 2 additional questions about how did you feel about the workshop. So was there any takeaways that you got from the workshop, guys? Anything that surprised you or anything that you would use in this workshop that we had today?
I'll take away just creating the mobile kit. I don't think we necessarily have a mobile kit that we can take with us on the go. So just putting something together like that might help out.
Nice. And again, I appreciate you guys for coming out to the workshop. Ms. Thompson, I appreciate your effort that you put in it to get more attendance and participants. I really appreciate that. Mr. Obi, I do appreciate your time just to take 30 to 40 minutes away and sit down with us during this workshop. We do have more to come. We do provide many different workshops in many different areas. So I do look forward to seeing you. This is our male involvement workshop. So, again, feel free to, if you wanted to invite a few more parents, a few more dads, make sure they come on through. And again,
right.
And again, each one teach one. If you just took one thing away from this workshop and implemented it in your life, I feel like I'm on the right track, and I feel like we're definitely on the right track together to make this world a better place.
Hey, well, thank you guys for taking your time and doing this. As I know, I'm sure you all wish there were more people in this workshop, but we appreciate the work you all are doing, and it's definitely necessary. Thank you, Ms. Thompson. Look forward to meeting you one day.
I look forward to meeting you too. Hopefully we'll meet this year.
Yeah.
But if not, but we're just gonna keep praying that we all stay safe and blessed, throughout this time. But Mr. LaFleur, I hope you come back, please come back to the next workshop.
Well, just I mean, it all depends on my work schedule. Like, I've literally got a call coming in right now. So
are you serious? Okay.
The 2:30 time can be a little bit tough, but if I had some time today, so I was able to make it work.
What's a good time for you though, Mr. LaFleur?
Typically at least after 4 o'clock might be better. Yeah, I understand. So I mean, I'll try to do what I can when I'm available, and if it can get out earlier, like in the calendar, I can put it in my calendar and maybe block some time off for it to happen.
Okay, so you know what I'll do is that I'll just email you all the dates. I'll email all the dates at the end, so you'll just have a heads up. So I'll email the dates from now until January, so at least you'll have all the dates and you can decide which ones you want to participate in.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. All right. Well, I thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate you. Warm welcome again for my co-host, Mr. Jason Harper. I appreciate you for assisting me today. This concludes our workshop for Creating Home Literacy Center Kids. My name is Byron Puryear with the Center for Literacy Parent Youth Outreach Office, and appreciate your time and effort, guys, and thank you for coming out.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Puryear, I need to talk to you before you leave.
Okay, no problem.